bending the rules. To be fair, there aren't really very many rules
Oh,
to
okay.
bend. The set of rules we have is basically just set. The only rules we have is just like safety. That's it. Other than that, it's like
And you
do what
haven't
you want.
like gone out those rules.
No, because I don't want to die.
Oh, so it's like very risky.
Yeah, I don't fancy dying anytime soon.
How do you like die as in being kicked off the course, or like there's legit gonna be
As in legitimate death.
how?
And being kicked off the course if you manage to survive that.
Okay, so like what other what happens? What could happen
Um,
if you don't follow those rules?
Like,
What are the rules then?
if we're using a bone saw, we have to keep like our other hand this many inches away. Otherwise, you could risk, slicing off your finger and bleeding out, and then amputating your hand, and then crush syndrome. Maybe
What's crush
depends.
syndrome?
It's basically actually it wouldn't be crush syndrome. Crush syndrome is more for like crashes. Like we had this one case study where a guy, his leg, he was a cyclist, his leg got caught between a car and was it a truck? Yeah, it was like a truck. His leg got caught between a car and a truck, and I can't text that right now. You know what a tourniquet is?
Remind me.
It's kind of like a belt or something you use to cut off the blood flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone did that to his leg, which is what you should do. But when he got to the hospital, they'd have to amputate that leg because because the bone was broken and everything. But if they just fixed the bone and if they took off the tourniquet, he would have died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so if they took that belt off.
Wait, why was he in a position where you had to use a tourniquet in the first place?
Because his leg was caught between a car.
Oh, it's the same story.
Yeah.
Okay.
His leg was caught between a car and the truck, so they had to use a tourniquet. And if they took that tourniquet, if anybody actually took that tourniquet off, he would have died.
Oh, that's quite ironic.
Yeah, it's just his leg, but he would have had a heart attack and died.
What would cause the heart attack? Like a blood clot, or?
Sort of. It's just that once you take the tourniquet off, everything's released at the same time, and your heart is just like, oh god,
Okay.
your heart's having a mental breakdown.
So it's like an overload.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so you've talked about your experience where you had to go and see some interesting things. We can go into that now.
Ooh, oh my god.
So like
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago we went on this trip to the Gordon Museum at King's, and basically it was freaky. I'm pretty sure it's haunted because there is no way you can have fetuses and heads in jars and not be haunted. Like, we walked in and there's just these glass jars on shelves, no barrier or anything. Like, you're not allowed to bring bags because you could knock it off. Oh my god, there was this giant jar with like these like conjoined we went into the conjoined twins room, and there was
rooms for conjoined twins.
There was a room full of babies in jars. Like, there were these twins conjoined at the spine, conjoined at the hip, conjoined at the head.
Wow.
We saw cyclopses, like full-on antennas. Like, they had like eyes coming out of antennas. We had babies that were too fat to be born.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah, like, it didn't even, like, they grow way too fast, so they cannot be born. Even by C-section, they're dead already.
Oh my god, is that like the mother doing something?
No,
just happens.
Just genetics.
Whoa.
Genetics and mutation. And like, what else did we see? Like, yeah, they were so massive they didn't even fit in the jars. The jars weren't big enough. Like, it was squished on the side, and it was a massive jar. I almost knocked it over.
I guess that would have been one of the most unorthodox things.
Imagine dropping a baby.
I mean, it's already dead, so
that makes it worse. I'm gonna get haunted by giant conjoined twins. But what else? There was a baby that was born with like almost grown-up sized feet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it had like these massive feet that you'd find on like an 8, 9, 10-year-old, but it was like a fetus. And like, what else?
When people talk, stop talking. Yeah. Which you did now. Great.
And like, What else was there? Yeah. Oh my god. And then there were like these baby heads in jars. I think they were the murder babies. Was that the murder baby shelf? I think it was. There was this one, the one that happened in Urans actually. So basically, am I to say where it was? Actually, no.
Probably safe not to because they. But yeah,
But like, it's on the internet anyway. So like, there was a baby. This mother gave birth under a bridge, and she basically birthed the baby herself, and just threw it into the river.
holy cow.
This was in your area, mate.
Yeah. Do you think I was alive then or something? Do you think I was walking down the exact same road? Do you think that at one point in my life I was walking down the road, see a woman giving birth, and I never mentioned it to anyone, and then she threw it in the river or
You might
whatever?
have walked down the river.
I have.
You walked down dead baby river then. And yeah, there's like so many where like mothers like kill their own babies, but that was the most memorable one because it happened in like an area we know. The other ones were all historical, and then there was like
Go into. I want to know a historical one.
I don't know any of them.
Oh,
I don't remember any of them, but it's pretty much the same story.
okay.
It's like the same story repeated again and again. And mother gives birth, she don't want the baby.
You have to repeat yourself.
Like the mother gives birth, she doesn't want the baby, she kills it, like either by strangling it. Oh, there was this one where the mom strangled the baby with like, was it the blanket or like a scarf or like a cloth or something? The cloth was still tied around it,
Oh my god.
and we were like, okay, that's.
How old was the baby? Was it like a newborn as well?
It was a newborn.
Oh my, what's with these? Oh my god. How do these museums even like?
Desperate times. The mummy. Oh my god, I didn't. The first thing we saw was a mummy. Basically, this guy, he donated himself to this project to see what happens to the human body while it's being mummified. But he was alive. So it was a suicide, if that makes sense.
Assisted suicide as well.
Like, he died during the process. Like, he died as part of the process.
So like, how do you know the?
I don't know the details.
But that's one thing
all
that
we know is because all they gave us was a summary, and it was like the guy died during the process, and we saw his body. It was like the first one there, and it was like, yo, but the thing is, the entire setup of that place, because it's a library as well, so people are just sitting there minding their own business, studying, while like there's a dead body over there, and there's like heads and like dead babies like over their heads, and it's like, how can you study in there? Like chilling, like it's your Costa, like King students are on some other, I don't know what.
Is it free access to that place?
No.
Oh.
No, we only went because we got special permission or something.
Yeah.
Like even some of their own students weren't allowed. I think it depends on like a case by case. It's a case by case thing. And what else? The headroom. There were heads in jars too, like grown-ups.
No, I guess that's why it's called the headroom.
It wasn't formally called the headroom. Everyone was just like, hey, let's just call it the headroom.
I guess they didn't have a living room. That was good. Don't lie. Oh my god.
This interview was great. I'm going home now. Bye.
But yeah, any other stories you learnt along the like what's in the jar?
Well, most of the head cases were just like skin cancer or like hair follicle cancer or something. Actually, wait, there was like a whole shelf that was just full of scalps.
Were those scalps still on the skull? Or
No,
just,
it was just the skin with the hair on it, and I was like, that is so weird.
Wig.
Shut up.
But yeah, okay, so and seeing that how that experience could have put someone off, was no one there, like, you know.
Everyone was freaked. Everyone I know was freaked out. Like half of us were like chanting exorcisms as we were walking by. Like, I'm not about to get haunted by the ghost and none of these things. So let's be real. Ghosts probably live there.
So I guess that's one experience that you didn't see coming, or was it briefed to you before, like we're gonna go to a place or like dead stuff in jars?
Actually, half and half, because they said we're going to go see some specimens at the Gordon Museum. So I just thought, okay, maybe it's just like some cell slides or something. We googled it and we saw like the faces in jars, but one of them kind of looked like Sam Smith. So we were like, okay, maybe it's just fake, as just like a display or something. And then we went, and yeah, that was not fake. That wasn't fake. But I don't know.
That surprised
I
you?
wasn't that squeamish. Is that a bad thing?
No, I think that's something you're gonna have to be when you're going to that field.
I mean, not many people can say they saw heads in jars. We weren't allowed to take any photos, which obvious reasons.
Wow. So, like, do you know anyone else who's done something unorthodox or like bent the rules, or do you know any stories that like teachers tell you, like, you know, don't in primary, don't lean far back in your chair, otherwise you'll crack your skull, anything like that, but then it actually happened?
Can you not? Nothing too extreme. Like, there was this one time where we had to work with alcohol and a Bunsen burner, and like he was like, "Hey, make sure you don't hover your alcohol over anything with alcohol in it over the Bunsen burner.
Wait, make sure you don't what?
Make sure you don't hover anything with alcohol on it over the fire or something, or like everything's gonna catch on fire." Apparently, that actually did happen. Like someone had like have like this tool we use to like spread specimens onto, what do you call them, onto like plates and stuff. So this, I don't know who it was, they got it, they dipped it in alcohol to like sanitize it, and they were just holding it and hovering it, fell into the fire. Oh my god. Boom. Well, not boom, more like whoosh, but
Do you know if the person survived?
yeah, they survived, but the bench was on fire. I'm pretty sure they got kicked out. I don't know when this was. This was before we went though, because I heard the story in my first year. And what else? I mean, they did tell us that someone accidentally cut off their fingertip with a bone saw. I don't know if it's true, if it's just one of those cautionary tales they tell us. But, I mean, I ain't taking no risks. I like having fingertips, so.
Yeah, that's all the questions. Bye.